In the quiet of the early morning at the SETI Institute, Dr. Nathan Reed leaned back in his chair, eyes fixed on the screen displaying a series of inexplicable signals, far from the usual cosmic noise. The room buzzed with a tension that even coffee couldn't dispel. Beside him, his colleague, Dr. Eric Torres, tapped nervously on his keyboard, rechecking their data. "Are you seeing this, Nathan? This pattern doesn't match any known cosmic or terrestrial source," Eric said, his voice a mix of excitement and disbelief. Nathan nodded, his mind racing through possibilities. "It's structured, repeating. It's got to be artificial. We need to verify the origin. Can you pull up the coordinates?" "Already on it," Eric replied, adjusting the satellite dish remotely to triangulate the source. As the data streamed in, the coordinates pointed unmistakably beyond Earth, towards a region of space known to harbor no planets or stars. "This is it, Eric. It's an extraterrestrial signal. No natural explanation fits." Nathan's voice was steady, but his heart pounded with the realization of what this meant. "Should we alert the authorities?" Eric asked, already knowing the answer. "Yes, and get the decryption team on this. We need to know what they're saying, not just that they're out there." Within hours, the Institute was swarming with government officials and additional cryptographers, including Alan Mackenzie, a specialist in linguistic patterns and extraterrestrial languages. Nathan briefed him on their findings. "Alan, we've picked up repeated sequences here," Nathan explained, pointing at the screen filled with undecipherable codes. "We think it's a message." Alan peered over the data, his brow furrowing. "I'll start with basic syntactic analysis. Let's see if there's a language structure we can isolate." As Alan worked, the atmosphere in the room grew heavy. Everyone sensed the weight of their discovery. Suddenly, the screens flickered, and a message started to form from the chaos of alien script. "Look!" Nathan exclaimed. "It's translating!" All eyes fixated as the words appeared. "Submit and surrender. Any resistance will be met with destruction." A cold silence fell over the room. Nathan felt a chill run down his spine. This was not the hopeful contact they had imagined. It was a threat. Eric broke the silence. "What do we do now? This isn't just a scientific discovery, it's a security threat." Nathan looked at Alan, then at the rest of the team. "We need to prepare. We aren't just deciphering a message. We're dealing with a potential invasion." Nathan's declaration marked a shift in their mission. They worked through the night, sending their findings to every relevant authority. By dawn, the world was on alert, and Nathan found himself drafted into a new role, one that required not just his scientific expertise, but his strategic mind. The following days were a blur of briefings and planning sessions. Governments worldwide unified under the threat, pooling resources and information in a way Nathan had never seen. He was introduced to General Marcus Lee, who would lead the defense efforts. "Dr. Reed, I've read your reports. Your insight could be crucial," General Lee said during their first meeting. His demeanor was stern, but not unkind. "I'll do whatever I can to help," Nathan replied, understanding the gravity of his new responsibility. Together, they formed a plan, not just to defend Earth, but to understand their enemy. Every decoded piece of data could be the key to survival. As the world braced for what was to come, Nathan and his team knew that their work had only just begun. They were no longer observers of the cosmos. They were warriors preparing to defend their home. The calm before the storm was tragically short-lived. Within weeks of the first communication, a dark shadow cast itself across Earth as the massive Zorlak fleet emerged from hyperspace. From the command center, now hastily established under NORAD, Nathan Reed and General Marcus Lee watched as satellite images relayed real-time data of the imposing alien armada. "Each of those ships is about 5 times the size of our largest aircraft carrier," General Lee pointed out grimly, "and there are hundreds of them." Nathan, equipped with a headset, continued to coordinate with international decryption teams trying to make sense of any further Zorlak communications. Beside him, a military strategist, Colonel Jeff Sanders, was sketching rapid defense deployments on a digital map. "Can our missiles even breach their shields?" Nathan asked, looking over to Jeff. "We're about to find out," Jeff replied, his voice tense as he coordinated with units worldwide. "Launch on my command. Now." The room fell silent as everyone watched the screens. The missiles streaked through the atmosphere, a brilliant display of Earth's readiness to defend itself. But as they reached the Zorlak ships, bursts of light flared up, shields absorbing the impacts without any apparent damage to the alien fleet. "It's like throwing pebbles at a tank," muttered Eric Torres, who had joined the military efforts as a technical advisor. "We need a new approach, and fast," General Lee stated, turning to Nathan. "What else have we learned from their transmissions?" Nathan adjusted his headset, tuning back into the ongoing decryption efforts. "There's a pattern to their shield's activation. If we can time our strikes between these intervals, we might have a shot at getting through. Get this information to the Air Forces. All units must synchronize their next strikes based on this intel," General Lee commanded. As the counteroffensive was adjusted, Nathan felt a growing respect for General Lee's ability to adapt under pressure. The general, in turn, relied increasingly on Nathan's insights into the aliens' communications, creating a partnership that was Earth's best hope. Meanwhile, cities worldwide prepared for ground assaults. Nathan watched as Eric and a team of engineers worked furiously to adapt alien technology salvaged from a crashed scout ship. "We've managed to reverse engineer their propulsion module. It's primitive by their standards, but it's decades ahead of anything we have," Eric explained, showing Nathan the modified design. "Use it to boost our drones, anything that gives us an edge," Nathan responded. The Zorlaks began their descent towards Earth, initiating skirmishes that turned into battles in major urban centers. Nathan, Eric, and General Lee hardly left the command center, sleeping in shifts, their lives now wholly dedicated to the war effort. In a particularly brutal encounter, alien troops landed in Paris. The city, already evacuated, became the site of a fierce confrontation. Colonel Sanders led the charge, employing guerrilla tactics learned from historical Earth conflicts. "We're holding them at Montmartre," Sanders reported over the comm. "But we need more firepower here." Nathan relayed the request to General Lee, who immediately redirected orbital satellites to provide laser-based support. The combined force of Earth's improvised weaponry and strategic ingenuity began to show results, pushing the alien forces back temporarily. "This is a war of attrition we're entering," General Lee remarked as they assessed the aftermath of the day. "But today shows we can hurt them. Let's make sure it wasn't a fluke." Nathan nodded, his resolve hardened. "We'll keep adapting, keep fighting." As the world united like never before, humanity's collective effort to understand and repel the Zorlak invasion grew stronger. Each decoded message, each captured piece of technology brought them closer to understanding their foe. Under the relentless leadership of Nathan and General Lee, Earth's forces prepared for the next wave of battle, knowing the future of humanity rested in their hands. As Earth adjusted to the realities of interstellar war, the alien assaults intensified. Nathan Reed, who had become the intellectual linchpin of Earth's defense efforts, initiated a worldwide coalition to unify the scientific and military communities under one comprehensive strategy. In a secured conference room at the Pentagon, he discussed with General Marcus Lee and other global defense leaders how to best consolidate their resources. "We need to move past just defending. We have to start thinking about how we can take the fight to them," Nathan stated, his voice echoing slightly off the concrete walls. General Lee nodded, his expression grim but determined. "I agree. It's time for us to consider offensive capabilities. Nathan, what do you propose?" "I suggest we form specialized task forces, mixed units of scientists, engineers, and soldiers. Each team will focus on a particular aspect of alien technology and warfare. We need to innovate faster," Nathan explained, pulling up a digital map highlighting key locations for these task forces. "Good. We'll call them the resistance units. I want you to help oversee their operations. Your insight has been invaluable," Lee replied, already moving to coordinate the new strategy. In the weeks that followed, Nathan traveled to various bases, helping to set up these resistance units. He worked closely with a new ally, Major Alex Ramirez, a tactician known for his unconventional warfare methods. Together, they brainstormed potential weaknesses in the alien technology. "Have we made any progress on decoding their shield frequencies?" Nathan asked during a session in a makeshift lab in Nevada. "We're getting there. Turns out their shielding flickers just before it recharges, only for milliseconds, but it's a vulnerability," Major Ramirez reported, showing Nathan the slow-motion footage of alien shields under attack. "That's our window. We'll need precision timing to exploit it. Let's develop a synchronization module for our missiles," Nathan suggested, sketching out the basic concept on a digital tablet. Meanwhile, in Europe, Eric Torres led a team focused on enhancing Earth's aerial capabilities using alien propulsion technology. In a secure hangar in Poland, they retrofitted drones and aircraft with alien-derived engines, drastically improving their speed and maneuverability. "Eric, how's the retrofit going?" Nathan asked via a secure video link. "Better than expected. We've managed to increase drone flight time by 300% and speed by an additional 50%. They're ready for a field test, Eric replied, his face lit by the glow of his workstation. Excellent. I'll coordinate with Air Command. These could be our new eyes in the sky, Nathan responded, noting down the details. Back in the United States, Nathan attended a field demonstration of a new weapon system designed to disrupt the alien communication arrays. The device, a high-frequency jammer, was the brainchild of a team in Silicon Valley. As the device powered up and successfully cut off an alien signal during the test, cheers erupted around the proving ground. This is what we need. Disruption and chaos in their ranks. Well done, Nathan congratulated the team, his spirits lifted by the success. As the resistance units continued to deliver results, Earth's defensive stance grew more robust. Nathan's strategy of creating a decentralized yet cooperative approach across scientific and military fronts was paying dividends. Each successful operation brought not just relief, but a real sense of progress against the alien invaders. Nathan knew that the road ahead was still fraught with danger and uncertainty. But for the first time since the Zorlak's arrival, humanity was not just surviving. It was fighting back with growing confidence. As he reviewed reports of successful engagements and technological breakthroughs, his focus remained clear. Keep pushing, keep innovating, and never give up. Earth's united defiance was slowly turning the tide, forging a path towards hope with each small victory. With the formation of resistance units worldwide, Earth began to capitalize on its gathered intelligence and newly developed technologies. The resistance units, under Nathan Reed's coordination, became centers of innovation and tactical planning, significantly disrupting the Zorlak invaders' operations. In a high-stakes meeting at the Central Command, Nathan presented the latest strategic initiative to General Marcus Lee and his team. We've been reactive for too long. With the new tech and intel, it's time to shift gears to a more offensive strategy, Nathan asserted, laying out the blueprints of their latest plan. Tell us about the operation you have in mind, General Lee prompted, eyeing the digital maps and schematics displayed. We've identified a Zorlak command hub on Earth, hidden in the mountain ranges of the Himalayas. It's heavily shielded and serves as their terrestrial communication relay. If we can take it down, we'll cripple their coordination for a while, Nathan explained, pointing to the 3D imagery of the site. Major Alex Ramirez, who had become instrumental in ground operations, added, We've developed a two-pronged attack. First, a series of coordinated strikes using our newly enhanced drones to distract and disorient them. Meanwhile, a special ops team will infiltrate the base to plant explosives that can take out their main communications array. General Lee nodded approvingly. What do you need from us? Air and ground support to secure a perimeter, and we need to keep this as quiet as possible. Any leak could jeopardize the whole operation, Nathan replied. The operation, codenamed Silent Thunder, commenced under the cover of night. Nathan, from a mobile command center, coordinated the attack, maintaining open lines with both the aerial drone teams and the ground forces led by Major Ramirez. As the drones, now faster and more agile thanks to the alien propulsion technology, began their assault, the Zorlak defenses scrambled in response. In the chaos, the Special Ops team, equipped with stealth gear and armed with high-impact explosives, made their way into the heart of the alien base. Their progress was monitored closely by Nathan, who provided real-time intelligence updates. Team Bravo, you're approaching the third checkpoint. There's less activity than we expected. Looks like the drone feint is working, Nathan relayed. The team, moving through shadowed corridors, reached the central hub without encountering significant resistance. Setting the charges, they prepared for a swift exit. Explosives are set. Detonation in 2 minutes. We're moving out, whispered Captain Helena Santos, the team leader. As the team retraced their steps, the explosives detonated, sending shock waves through the alien command hub. Satellite imagery later confirmed the destruction of the primary communications array, severely impairing the Zorlak operational capabilities on Earth. Direct hit. The base is down, Nathan confirmed, a hint of relief in his voice. Back at the command center, cheers broke out among the staff. General Lee patted Nathan on the back, a rare smile crossing his weathered face. This is a significant blow to the Zorlak forces. Well done, Nathan, and all teams involved, General Lee announced. In the aftermath of Operation Silent Thunder, reports of confusion and disarray within alien ranks surged. Without their primary communication relay, the Zorlak struggled to coordinate counterattacks, giving human forces much-needed breathing room. Nathan, reviewing the operation's success, felt a surge of cautious optimism. This is just the beginning. Let's use this momentum. Keep pushing the technology envelope and strike them before they can regroup, he said to his team. As Earth's forces gained confidence, the tide of war seemed, for the first time, to be turning in humanity's favor. With each successful mission, the possibility of winning the war against the Zorlax grew from a distant hope to a tangible goal. Nathan knew the path ahead would still be fraught with challenges, but for now, Earth could celebrate a hard-fought victory. Following the successful Operation Silent Thunder, Earth's tactical momentum continued to build. Nathan Reed and his team were not content to rest on their laurels. They knew that the Zorlak fleet still posed a significant threat. In a secure command center, Nathan and General Marcus Lee planned their next major strike. This victory has given us an opportunity to push further, to strike at the core of their fleet. If we can infiltrate their flagship, we could potentially end this war, Nathan proposed, his eyes locked on the holographic display of the alien fleet. General Lee, studying the fleet's patterns, nodded slowly. It's a formidable target, Nathan. Their flagship is the most heavily armed and protected of all. What's your plan? Nathan outlined his strategy, involving a decoy operation to draw the flagship away from the main fleet. We've managed to reverse engineer enough of their technology to spoof their communication signals. We can lure the flagship into a preset trap. Once isolated, our special ops team can board it, deliver a payload that disables the ship. Major Alex Ramirez, who had become a key player in these operations, added, "We have the element of surprise on our side. They won't expect us to be so bold." "Bold or crazy," muttered Eric Torres, who had joined the meeting to provide technical insight. "Sometimes they're the same thing," Nathan replied with a half-smile. "Eric, we'll need your expertise to ensure our tech is up to scratch." Eric nodded, already deep in thought about the technical challenges they would face. Preparations for the operation, codenamed Stellar Hammer, went ahead at full speed. The resistance units worked tirelessly, enhancing their weaponry and shields with alien technology, training for zero-gravity combat, and simulating various scenarios they might encounter on the flagship. As D-Day approached, Nathan felt the weight of their ambitious plan. He visited the troops who would carry out the mission, imparting words of encouragement, and seeing firsthand the determination in their eyes. "You are the finest soldiers I've ever had the honor to work with," he told them. "Remember, you're not just fighting for Earth. You're fighting for the future of humanity." The operation began with a feint attack on a Zorlak supply convoy. As predicted, the flagship broke formation to assist, moving into the trap set by Earth's forces. As it did, a small team led by Major Ramirez, cloaked by the latest stealth technology, approached the colossal ship. Inside the command center, Nathan and General Lee monitored every movement. The tension was palpable as they awaited confirmation that the team had boarded the flagship. "We're in," came the crackled voice of Major Ramirez over the comm. "Heading to the core." The team stealthily navigated the labyrinthine corridors of the flagship, avoiding patrols and disabling security measures with tools designed by Eric's team. Their objective was the main reactor room. The plan was to install an explosive device that would cripple the ship's power systems. Reaching the reactor was the easy part. The real challenge was installing the device without alerting the entire ship. Every second was critical as the team worked to secure the explosive. Just as the device was set, an unexpected patrol stumbled upon the scene. A brief but intense firefight ensued, disrupting the stealth of the operation. Nathan gripped his console, watching the live feed, his heart pounding. "Explosive is set, but we've got company," Major Ramirez reported, gunfire echoing in the background. "Get out of there now," Nathan ordered. "We can detonate from here." The team made a hasty retreat, narrowly escaping the pursuing Zorlak forces. As they cleared the blast radius, Nathan gave the order, and the device detonated. The flagship's lights flickered and died, its power systems devastated. Cheers erupted around Nathan and General Lee as they confirmed the mission's success. The Zorlak flagship, now a floating hulk, was no longer a threat. "This is a turning point," General Lee said, clasping Nathan's shoulder. "Well done." As the news of the flagship's fall spread, morale among Earth's forces soared. This bold strike deep into the heart of the enemy not only demonstrated Earth's growing capabilities, but also signaled the beginning of the end for the Zorlak invasion. With the crippling of the Zorlak flagship, the momentum of the conflict shifted dramatically in favor of Earth's forces. The once seemingly invincible alien armada was now vulnerable and disorganized. In the command center, Nathan Reed, alongside General Marcus Lee and Major Alex Ramirez, reviewed the latest satellite imagery showing the Zorlak's weakened positions. Without their flagship to coordinate, their fleet formations are breaking down. Now's our chance to push them out of our system once and for all, Nathan declared, his eyes tracing over the tactical displays. General Lee nodded in agreement, his face set in a determined frown. We've been preparing for this. It's time for Operation Liberation. Full assault on all fronts, space, air, and ground. We drive them out completely. Major Ramirez chimed in, his tone serious yet optimistic. Our troops are ready, our technology is proven, and our spirit is unbreakable. We'll give them everything we've got. The plan was set. Earth's forces would launch a synchronized global offensive, targeting the remaining Zorlak forces entrenched on the planet and those still in orbit. The operation was designed to be a knockout blow, combining all of Earth's newfound technological prowess and strategic learning. As the hour approached, Nathan visited the troops who would lead the ground assault. He looked into the faces of the men and women who had become not only the defenders of Earth, but its avengers. This is the day we take back our planet, he told them, his voice echoing over the field. You are the bravest of us all, and I am honored to stand with you. Back at the command center, the operation commenced under a barrage of artillery and missile fire that lit up the sky like a new dawn. Spacecraft powered by reverse-engineered Zorlak technology engaged the enemy in fierce orbital combat, outmaneuvering the alien fighters with superior tactics and the element of surprise. On the ground, Major Ramirez led his troops with precision, reclaiming territories that had been under alien occupation. Urban centers, where battles raged between buildings and through streets, were slowly but surely cleared of the alien presence. Nathan coordinated the various theaters of war from the command center, relaying critical information and making decisive calls that exploited the enemy's confusion and disarray. Every victory reported bolstered the morale of the global defense forces. As the battle wore on, it became clear that the Zorlak forces were faltering. Without their central command and with no reinforcements arriving, their resistance grew weaker. By nightfall, Earth's forces had achieved significant victories on multiple fronts. In orbit, the final Zorlak warship attempted a desperate escape, but Earth's fighters were on its tail. Nathan watched the pursuit on the main screen, aware that the outcome of this chase symbolized much more than just a tactical victory. It was the reclamation of humanity's future. With a final, decisive strike, the Earth fighters disabled the warship, capturing it. Cheers and applause erupted in the command center and were echoed in bases and cities around the planet. Humanity had won. Earth was free once more. Exhausted yet exhilarated, Nathan and General Lee shared a moment of quiet satisfaction amidst the celebrations. We did it, Nathan. You did it, General Lee said, his voice filled with relief and respect. It was all of us, sir. The whole world, Nathan replied, feeling the weight of their losses and the breadth of their triumph. As the news of the victory spread, celebrations broke out worldwide. People who had lived under the shadow of fear and oppression took to the streets, embracing a future that was once again their own to shape. In the aftermath, Nathan stood outside the command center, looking up at the stars. The night sky, once a canvas of terror as alien ships descended, was now a vista of peace. Earth had answered the call to arms with unity and courage, and while the road to recovery would be long and fraught with challenges, humanity had proven its ability to face the unknown and prevail. As the sun rose on a liberated Earth, Nathan felt a profound connection to the planet he had helped save. The final assault was over, but the journey to rebuild and advance was just beginning. The world woke to a new dawn, free from the shadow of the Zorlak invasion. Despite the joy and relief that spread across the globe, the scars of the conflict were visible everywhere. Cities lay in ruins, ecosystems were disrupted, and millions mourned the loss of loved ones. In the midst of this bittersweet victory, Nathan Reed faced the daunting task of transitioning from warfare to reconstruction. At a United Nations meeting, convened to discuss the future of planetary defense and reconstruction, Nathan presented the lessons learned from the conflict and proposed strategies for global recovery. Beside him stood General Marcus Lee and other leaders who had been instrumental in the war effort. As we celebrate our victory, we must also remember the price we paid to achieve it, Nathan began, his voice echoing in the solemn assembly. Our focus now must shift to rebuilding not just our cities, but the lives of those affected by this war. General Lee took the floor next, emphasizing the need for continued vigilance. The Zorlak threat has been neutralized, but we must be prepared for other potential threats from beyond our world. We propose the establishment of a permanent global defense force. The Assembly agreed, and plans were set in motion to maintain Earth's defenses using the advanced technology salvaged from the Zorlak fleet. Nathan was appointed to lead a new scientific community focused on integrating alien technology for peaceful purposes, ensuring that humanity's next encounters with extraterrestrial life would be handled with more foresight. Back home, Nathan visited the ruins of what was once a vibrant neighborhood in his city. Walking amidst the rubble, he met with survivors and volunteers who were clearing debris and rebuilding homes. The resilience of the human spirit was evident in their determination and hope. "We lost so much, Nathan," said a young volunteer, handing him a piece of twisted metal that was once part of a child's playground. "But we're still here, still fighting, not just to survive, but to live again." Nathan nodded, deeply moved. "And we'll build it better, not just rebuild, but improve. Make sure that our defenses and our infrastructure are the best they can be." In the following months, Nathan dedicated himself to these rebuilding efforts. He helped design new urban centers that were more resilient and sustainable, incorporating both human and alien technologies. Environmental recovery programs were launched to restore damaged ecosystems, and new educational initiatives were introduced to teach the next generation about both the perils and potential of contact with alien civilizations. Yet, amidst the flurry of reconstruction and innovation, Nathan found himself haunted by the memories of those who had been lost. In a quiet ceremony, he joined families and friends in planting a memorial garden, where each tree represented a life lost during the invasion. It was a place for reflection and remembrance, a testament to both the fragility and the fortitude of life. As Nathan stood before the garden with its young trees swaying gently in the breeze, he felt a mixture of sorrow and hope. The world was moving forward, but it would never forget the cost of its freedom. "We will carry these memories forward, not as a burden, but as a beacon, a reminder of what we've overcome and what we must safeguard," Nathan declared to those gathered. The chapter of the Zorlak invasion had closed, but the story of humanity's journey into the cosmos was just beginning. With new technologies, new allies, and a new understanding of the universe, Earth was no longer just a participant in the cosmic dance, but a strong, resilient leader, ready to face whatever challenges might come next. The dust of war had settled, and Earth had begun to heal from the scars left by the Zorlak invasion. Cities were being rebuilt with a combination of human ingenuity and alien technology, now a testament to Earth's resilience and newfound capabilities. Nathan Reed, who had been pivotal in the war and subsequent recovery efforts, now led a newly formed Global Exploration and Defense Initiative, HFY, dedicated to ensuring Earth's preparedness against future threats and exploring the possibilities of peaceful space exploration. In the high-tech conference room of the JEDI headquarters, Nathan convened the first meeting with his team, composed of top scientists, military strategists, and diplomats from around the world. The large screen at the front displayed a map of the galaxy, dotted with points of interest identified from the Zorlak data archives. "Our victory has given us an unprecedented opportunity to advance our knowledge and establish a presence in space that is defined not by conflict, but by curiosity and cooperation," Nathan explained, his voice filled with optimism. "We have the tools and the knowledge now to not just defend Earth, but to be a part of the larger cosmic community." As the team discussed potential missions and strategies, it was clear that Earth was entering a new era of space exploration. The Zorlak technology had provided a quantum leap in propulsion and energy generation, making interstellar travel more feasible. Plans for the first manned mission to a nearby exoplanet were underway, with the dual goals of exploration and establishing a forward base for monitoring cosmic activity. Meanwhile, on Earth, the changes brought about by the integration of alien technology had sparked a renaissance in technology and science. Universities and research centers flourished, new industries emerged, and a wave of technological entrepreneurship swept across the globe. Nathan often visited these centers, giving talks and engaging with young innovators whose ideas seemed straight out of science fiction. One such visit took Nathan to a newly established university where he inaugurated the Center for Intergalactic Studies. Speaking to a packed auditorium, he shared his vision for humanity's future in space. "We stand on the brink of a new frontier," Nathan addressed the eager faces before him. Your generation will walk on alien worlds, decipher the mysteries of the cosmos, and perhaps meet other intelligent beings. The universe is vast, and its potential for discovery is infinite. We must approach it with both caution and wonder. The speech was met with roaring applause, the excitement palpable among the students, many of whom would become the astronauts, engineers, and scientists who would lead Earth's ventures into space. Back at JEDI headquarters, Nathan reviewed reports from the early warning system, a network of satellites and space stations equipped with sensors and communication devices developed from Zorlak technology. The system was designed to detect and evaluate any extraterrestrial activity, ensuring that Earth would never again be caught off guard. As the sun set over the city, now sparkling with lights and renewed life, Nathan stood by his office window, reflecting on the journey that had brought them here. The Earth had been through darkness and had emerged into the light, stronger and more united than ever. The stars no longer represented fear, but possibility. Looking forward, Nathan felt a profound sense of responsibility and hope. Humanity had not only survived an existential threat, but had turned it into an opportunity to grow beyond its past limitations. As Earth continued to heal and build, it did so with an eye towards the stars, ready to face new challenges and seize new opportunities. The day the humans answered back had been just the beginning. Now, they were not just participants in the cosmic dance, but were poised to lead and inspire, forging a path of peace and discovery in the vast, uncharted expanse of space.